Hello and welcome. For quite some time now, Nigeria's main opposition People's Democratic Party PDP, which was once a dominant political force in the country, has been struggling with serious internal crisis before and after the 2023 general elections, leading to ongoing instability and continued division among its members. At the heart of the conflict is a contentious leadership battle which has exposed long-standing divisions within the party's hierarchy. At the moment, for instance, there is a contention as to who the secretary of the party is. The case is now before the Supreme Court, and prominent PDP leaders have expressed concerns over the lingering crisis, with some calling for urgent intervention to prevent a total collapse of the party's internal structure. Across state chapters of the party, there have been series of defections by high-profile members in recent times. Among the recent exits from the party is Abdulaziz Olajide Adediran, also known as Jandor. He was the governorship candidate of the PDP in Lagos State in the last general election. He announced his departure from the party about 2 weeks ago and heavily criticized the party leader in the state, now and former deputy national chairman south of the party, Chief Bode George, accusing him of working against the party's interest and stifling its growth. He also blamed his election loss to internal divisions within the party. Joining me now to discuss all of this is Chief Bode George himself. Chief, thank you very much for talking to us, and thanks a lot for your time. Let us start with your party, the PDP. Things are not all too smooth for the party at the moment. We can't deny that. We've seen quite a number of members leave, and we've seen divisions in the party. You've lost senators, for instance, and House of Rep members from different states, including Delta. What exactly is the problem? Why is it so difficult to resolve whatever the issue is?
It is not difficult to resolve. We have the capacity, to be able to come together and resolve this issue. What happened was that we left it for too long, and the issue of the concept established to operate the party, the real fundamentals that made those old men to come together and to establish this formidable Iroko tree political party is what was disturbed. But let me, like we say in part of my world, that if you have an Iroko tree, it doesn't mean that sometimes the branches will fall off, the leaves will fall, but because it has a very, very strong, deep-rooted taproot, nothing. Our ability to come together, we debate, we discuss, we will shout, we will calm ourselves down, but our ability to finally resolve this imbroglio will be a measure of our competence and a measure of the acceptance of the people in the public to say, these people are serious. It looks like it's taking a long time because the way it started wasn't well managed. And if you don't manage a little problem, before you know it, it becomes massive and becomes cancerous. All sides, the two sides that have been fighting, and absolutely unnecessary. But the catalyst that exacerbated the division was the lackluster approach made by the former chairman of our party, that is Yocha Ayu. He's my little younger brother, but the way he managed that crisis, he himself will look back into history and regret what he did. Because immediately that thing happened, first of all, as he came in, people noticed that there was a zoning committee that was set up. If you look, to look at the zoning, that's the way we normally do things in PDP. That committee, when it sat, only zoned party positions, whereas Section 7, subsection 3C of our party constitution states emphatically that, after 8 years, there will be, zoning and rotation of elective offices and party offices. They are not to be handled separately. How that committee handled this and came up with only the party positions, I don't know. By the time IU reported, and then, we now said, why is it only the party positions? What about the elective positions? 6 months had lapsed since the zoning committee met. And so he set up another committee to review the report of the zoning committee. And now he made it 1 rep per state, so about 36 of us. And Governor Utom was the chairman. I remember very, very well that first meeting. Some people came, the Erie dentists came and were shouting, there's no zoning, there's no need for any more zoning, the party has stabilized, what is going on here? So I asked somebody to give me a copy of the constitution of our party. And it's explicit, well stated, clean and clear. You take it, get a PDP constitution. Section 7, subsection 3C states there will be zoning and rotation of party offices and elective offices. It is sacrosanct. So we said, look at, why are you shouting there is no zoning? Anyway, we disbanded that day. Then the next meeting, they came back, they were now sober and realized that, of course, that was a mistake on their part, that there was no more zoning. So we sat down, we begged, they approached me and as an elder, and we said, look, they made a proposal that, look, 6 months had lapsed. Why we should have, done the zoning of both the elective and the party offices. So what do we do now? Do we just yank off those who have been campaigning, spending money in the last 6 months? And they went to the extent by saying, listen, we are members of the same family. There must be camaraderie. Let us calm down. The mistake had been made. And going forward, we should allow all sides, all the zones, those who want to compete, to compete. It was a very heated debate. Eventually, we convinced our friends from the South especially to calm down, that the enemy is not here, the enemy is APC. So let us accept. That's how Jerry Ghana was the professor who took his pen to write the communique of that committee. And the report was clear that now we will never again allow this mistake to happen. In other words,
sorry to interject, Chief, but when you look at what is happening, when you also cast your mind to 2027, you know, and you look at what is happening at the moment, and there's no question at all that Atiku Abubakar, the former vice president, you know, he's given every indication that he's going to run. He's working towards that. Yeah. Don't you think the party is about to make the same mistake again? Because it's looking like the candidate is definitely going to come from the north as well. That's the presidential candidate.
No. You know, as a formidable leader of this party, we all joined in 1998. We were the first. I was one of those who were elected as managers of the party in 1999 December. And the founding fathers handed over to us. So the concept of operation, the procedure, the do's and don'ts, the processes were handed over to us. Now, I had said it. Let me finish my story, then you will see the link. When we now went back to give the report, and that never again should any, the mistake made by the zoning committee be made. But on this occasion, we will single it out and allow this to go on because of the unity of the party. We submitted the report to NEC and to IU. He was very happy that we were able to come together and made a statement that day that peradventure the presidency comes from the north, then the position of the chairman will have to go to the south. You see, in our party, apart from the zoning and rotation of all those key positions, the old men, the founding fathers, came up with six top positions: presidency, vice presidency, Senate presidency, honorable speaker, secretary to the government, and the national chairman of the party. So all this, because they had divided Nigeria into 6 geopolitical zones. So these 6 top positions, at least everybody will go, every zone, whether you are minority or majority, will go home with one thing or the other, which was unlike what happened in the First and Second Republic. Majority tribe took whatever they won. Minorities were just mere onlookers. It didn't sit well with this country. Disagreements, lackluster management and all that went on for a long time. And if these people, like what I'm saying, they divided, our party divided Nigeria into 6 geopolitical zones. It's not in our national constitution. But for management of managing the 2 devils implanted by the British before they left here, the issue of tribalism and the issue of religious bigotry, So how do we do it? And then the third arm was the issue of majority-minority. And they were able to resolve this crisis because you have everybody, whether you are minority tribe or majority tribe, you go home with one of these. And so in the northern zone, the 3 positions will go northwest, northeast, north central. In the southern zone, southwest, southeast, south. So 6 positions, 3 up, 3 down, total 6. After every 8 years, the 3 positions in the north will come to the south. The 3 positions in the south will go to the north and will rotate competitively. So now, who had just finished presidency was General Buhari. Where did he come from? Did he come from Lagos State? The argument is that he's not a member. The argument is that he's not a member of your party. That's what some of your members in the north are saying. No. You see, when they say that is like a huge joke. Is Buhari not a Nigerian? The party we are running that for purposes, and the people we are talking to, are they not Nigerians? Are we now saying because you belong to another party, you are no longer a Nigerian? That's frivolous. That's a very cheap talk. You know? Because what you will not accept, don't do it to your other human being. If we had done that to our brothers in the North, would they have accepted it?
There's a contention here. Now, let's just assume that the next presidential candidate of your party comes from the South and goes on to win and defeat the APC in 2027.
Right.
Do you think that Southern candidate will want to do just 4 years to complete the term of the current administration? Do you think that will be possible?
He has, why not? Why not? You've been president. You've been president one time, so damn what? You got there through a process. If you respect the rules and the laws of our party, you know you are going there to spend only one term. What else do you want?
But Chief, you know that will be very difficult.
It is not difficult, because when the time comes and we go for the convention, the same story I'm talking about, I pray to God I'll still be alive. I will make sure that whoever he wants to come back, we will tell him you cannot. 2031, by the grace of the Almighty God, this presidential candidature of our party must go back to the North. You can do whatever you want to do. You know, the party, when you do election, the party, we go to the larger society to decide. We don't. The election is not within the party members. We have to convince the others. What happens to the other Nigerians? How do they look at our people? How would they look at us? If they don't trust you, why would they vote for you? You get what I'm saying? It's not within our party. We are working for the larger, and the electorate in this country are more in number than those of us who are card-carrying members. What is good for the goose is also good for the gander. They will know now that we have only 4 years of opportunity, that you did. Because that 2031, by the grace of the Almighty God, it must go back to the North.
Let's talk about your party in Lagos, where you're very much in charge. Just last week, your governorship candidate in the 2023 election left and made several accusations against you and said you are the problem of the party, and that's the reason why he's decided to leave.
Look, let me try and use the cultural connotation here. No matter how many rags, no matter how many clothes a young man has, he can never have as many rags as an old man. No? It's an infradignitatem for me to respond to the rubbish he has been talking about. My children are far much older than him, far better educated and far more civilized. All the rubbish he's talking about, I will ensure that we will get somebody who is slightly older than him, highly professional person, who will talk about that. It's an infradig. He came and he was just one very, very respectable elder that brought him. And we just concluded that that elder cannot tell us, and we will say no. That's how we considered him. And we told the other younger man to step down so that, to step down at the primaries, because in our own case, you must do primaries. And I don't think I need to go down. That's good riddance to bad rubbish. I won't talk about that. It's an infradig.
You look at the performance of your party in 2023 in Lagos. You lost the governorship election, and it was I think since I started following or covering politics, I would say that was one of the worst performances your party has ever recorded. In the governorship election now, you didn't make even up to 70,000 votes, and that was really poor. With the benefit of hindsight now, what do you think went wrong? What would you say the party did wrong?
That's what it's not the party that did anything wrong. It's the personality that was involved. He lied his way through. And I've told you, I'm going to get a younger man who will come and give you all those details. I'm telling you, if you want him tomorrow, I will make sure he reports. He will now come and explain these stories. It's an infra-dig from, when I said, my children are much older than this fellow. And he will follow him for the rest of his life. He's lying. Every story he's telling you there, he's lying. But for me, it means I am raising him up to my level. Please, let's...
Okay. All right.
Of course, people reacted. People reacted. The worst reaction, the man that actually blew open that balloon was the former governor, Fashola. When he came back from Abuja as Minister of Transport or Works, he said, what is PDP doing? People told me, please open your, switch on your television and listen to Governor Fashola. He said, what? This one we are presenting that used to be my cameraman in the... Eh? I said, my God. What? Let me just leave it like that. And you think Nigerians are not listening? The electorate, like I said, are much bigger than those of us, and more larger than those of us who are card-carrying members. So what do we expect? And the younger man who has the pedigree, brilliant fellow, was at MIT, an MIT graduate, a man from a solid home. We asked him to step down so that this fellow can... And then he came round with stories. I said, look, you are older than him. Okay, he's younger than you. I begged the father of the Rose Vival. I said, look, Wale, please, let him go and be the running mate. And he still has years. He just, that time he was 39 years old. This guy said he was 45. So I said, okay, manage it yourself. And the elders also. I have apologized to the party people because I followed the voice of an elder. I can't mention it, but a respectable, responsible man. And I thought they had done a thorough screening of this fellow. When by the time we found out, oh my goodness, how can you compare a rat to a lion? Absolutely incomparable. I said, what? It was... Anyway, leave that for...
All right, Chief.
We had learned a lesson. We have learned a lesson, and now we are regrouping, because a divided house will remain a defeated house.
Let's talk...
We have learned a lesson.
Let's talk...
We have now moving together, and I pray the strategy adopted at the national will give us time to pull our resources together.
At the national level now, how do you think, the FCT, Nyesom Wike, and Atiku Abubakar, the Atiku Abubakar's camp, now, how do you think they can be reconciled? Because it appears when you look at the crisis rocking the party, it's just between these two camps fighting for control.
Absolutely.
That's just what it is. I mean, recently there was a South-South, they had a South-South zonal congress. The party has come out now to say it didn't recognize that congress, that another one has to be conducted and all of that. Right. So it's a battle of control between these two camps. And it's really affecting the party. How? What do you think? How can this be resolved?
I believe, that will be our strategy. At my age, I'm at the 8th floor of life. And I believe that we will be able to use our experiences in managing crisis. I come from the military background, and I've been also in the civilian administrations. And I'm not priding myself. We've got a lot of other people who are very matured, who are very experienced, who will think first about Nigeria before self. Members of the Board of Trustees, the issue of tribal sentiments will not come in. Like I have stated before, and I will say it again, that both sides have committed a harakiri. They've both committed terrible things. And we must be fair. We will listen to A, we will listen to B, appeal to them for the sake of the future generations of this country. Because there is no other political party like the PDP. And you know why I want to say that? Let's put our party on one side. Look at the APC. Do they have a functioning ESCO, party ESCO at the national? Apart from when you hear Ganduje acting chairman, who is the national secretary of APC? Who is the national organizing secretary? Who is the national publicity secretary? And all these other ESCO. Have you had anybody? Now, think again of the states and the zones. Who are their zonal chairmen?
But is your party any better? Because you have that.
We have it, of course,
from the national down to the local level.
No, of course we have functional people. There are congresses coming out to change so many others. The ones that just came, they had an ESCO, but because of the fight, one group decided they were going to, elect the zonal officers on their own. And the national said, no, that is not the way we do things.
And you think it will be easy? You think it will be easy for your party to resolve this South-South Congress issue?
You bet. Of course we will resolve it.
Because the camp of Nyesom Wike are insisting that what they did was legal. And
Wike, yes. A former governor, a current minister, he has served. Atiku has also served, a former vice president, a former this, a former that, with his own experience in the customs and all that. And then you have the governors forum, who will be part. You have the elders forum, which is the Board of Trustees. We also have the caucus. I'm representing the Southwest in the national caucus of our party. We will meet. This is not the first time we're having this kind of crisis.
And part of the problem too is that
this one has been delayed.
Yeah.
This one has been delayed so far because the man who created the mess ran away. That's how he ran away. I went to him. I spent 6 hours in his house begging him to revisit it, to rebalance, so that I said, look, what do you think the Southwest, which position are we going to take back home to have the support of our people? Because the issue is not party only members that will go and vote. You will require the electorate. What are you bringing back home? Nothing. And eventually he left. And since he left, nobody has been able to coordinate the party properly at that level. But I'm happy that something is being done. And it will be done.
Chief Bode George, thank you so very much, sir, for your time, and thanks for talking to us once again.
Always my pleasure, my brother.
Thank you very much
for giving me this opportunity.
Thank you.
We appreciate it.
We appreciate it. All right, we'll take a short break and we'll be right back. Stay with us. Don't go away. Opinions are free. Facts are sacred. But truth is universal. How, in practical terms, can we, for instance, de-escalate the tension